We are getting back into baseball shape on the Friday edition of MLB Central. I got my guys with me, Robert Flores, Mark DeRosa, and my girl as well, one of the voices of the Yankees, Meredith Marakovits. Good morning, my friend. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
We're good. I asked you, are you ready the other day? And you said, Lauren, we're all ready, meaning Hicks and Judge and Stanton. Is the feeling that the time off has benefited them in some way?
Look, you never would have wished this upon anybody. That's the bottom line. But I do think the Yankees benefited from this a little bit. You had guys like James Paxton that probably wouldn't have been ready until May. However, now he's already thrown double-digit bullpens. I spoke to him a few weeks ago. He said the back is feeling good. He's been working on his fastball, trying to get an increased spin rate on that to make that pitch even more dominant. So you have guys like that are going to be in the fold that would not have been in the fold early on had they started when they were supposed to at the end of March. You mentioned a guy like Aaron Judge, very real possibility that he could be out there on the field come opening day. You also have Aaron Hicks. He was at George M. Steinbrenner Field the other day, hitting in the cage. He appears to be okay, removed from Tommy John surgery. So there are a lot of guys that are going to be back, but I think we all have a lot of question marks as far as how is this second spring training going to do and what will it yield in the way of injuries. Starting, stopping, starting again.
Meredith, I want to ask you a question because they're built on star power, right? And stars want to perform in front of fans. And I think one of the toughest places to ever play baseball was old Yankee Stadium. The fans would just lean on you. It changed a little bit. New Yankee Stadium, so beautiful with all the marble and everything. The fans kind of are not totally on top of you. But I think it's a disadvantage for the Yankees not being able to play in front of fans. Have you been able to kind of pick the brains of a Stanton or a Judge? I mean, it's going to be interesting going to the plate without the crowd behind them.
It's going to be really weird, and I think the closest we've been to this in baseball in the past couple of years was in Baltimore a few years back when they had all the issues in the city. So we have seen it before, and you heard people that played during that game saying it was just so bizarre. You could hear what other people were saying in the other dugout. So I think there is going to be that element, and while it's a disadvantage, I don't think it's a disadvantage just for the Yankees. I think it's a disadvantage around Major League Baseball. Everybody's playing by the same rules here. Nobody is going to have fans in the stands, at least to start. So while I do think there's an added element of anticipation going out there in front of all those people wanting to play well for your fans, I think now you're going to need to see guys dig deep, find the motivation. And I think when you only have a 60-game season, it's not a marathon anymore. It's a sprint. Every game is going to matter. So I don't think you're going to have to ask professional athletes very hard to dig deep and to get motivated for the season. I think they are ready for baseball and ready to get back out there on the field.
Meredith, you mentioned the injuries that the Yankees were dealing with before things got shut down, and you referenced Aaron Judge. What's your best guess of what we will see and what Aaron Judge will look like, or how long before we see the Aaron Judge that we all know and love once things get back up and running?
Reports are that he's certainly progressing, and the Yankees so far are liking what they're seeing. Exactly what happens when he actually steps on the field in a competitive environment, that remains to be seen. Is he 100% pain-free? We don't know that yet, but that's an injury that took a whole lot of time to heal. Is it completely healed right now, or will he have some residual effects? You can look at it two ways. You can say, we're going to worry that he's going to have residual effects. We're going to really treat him carefully in this second spring training, do everything medically that we can. Or you could look at it the other way and say, look, all this additional time off, this guy is stronger than ever. If he has to play through some pain, it's not an entire season. Can he gut it out? Will he be okay? Either way, I think it goes without saying the Yankees want Aaron Judge in the lineup, even if he's not 100%, which I'm not saying he's not 100%. I'm just saying we don't know that for sure yet until you see him facing live pitching. Even if he's not 100%, guys, he is such a presence in that batter's box. He makes the hitter in front of him and behind him better, and he makes pitchers work. So I do believe you are going to see him, if not opening day, very soon thereafter. He's a guy that wanted to be out there during spring training. I spoke to Marcus Timms a few weeks ago, and he said that Judge was just dying to get out there in full capacity, and I think he's closer now than ever.
Meredith, I want to ask you, I've been doing some research on you, and rumor on the street is you were this amazing volleyball star I didn't know you ran the streets at LaSalle in Philadelphia. I wasn't too far away at Penn, but I'm going through it right now. My daughter's a junior in high school, and I love going to the skybox talking about hitting. Give me something with volleyball. She's an outside right side. She's 6 foot tall. She can get it done, but she needs a couple keys, and I don't have any to give her.
Wow, you described me, 6 feet tall, outside, right side, volleyball player. I don't know who paid you to say that I was a great volleyball player, because we all know that's not true, though I was young and athletic at the time, so much better than I'd fare now. But volleyball, man, it's a lot about desire. It's a lot about technique. It's a lot about, what you're doing to prepare. So I think like any other sport, practice makes perfect. You need the killer instinct, you need the desire, and you need the repetition. So if she has those things and she continues to work hard, hey, she's going to excel. She's going to excel. So I have a feeling, coming from a parent who played at a high level, even though it wasn't volleyball, she probably has at least the killer instinct, the work ethic, and maybe a little personality too. I don't know. I've never met her.
I love it. Yeah, she's a doll, Gabby. We love that you're on with us this morning. We know that you drove from Tampa to New York City yesterday, made it through in one day. Before we get to a little nonsense, little game action on Central, what's the one establishment that you see on the exit sign that you're like, I got to pull over?
Okay, now those who are from Philadelphia, Jersey area will understand this. Wawa has migrated south, right? They've migrated south, and I was so happy to see it because I grew up outside of Philly. Wawa was a staple at the Jersey Shore, all that good stuff. Something about the pretzels, the soft pretzels in the Northeast taste different than they do in the South. I'm sorry. So when I see Wawa, as you get into Virginia and then past DC, even going into Delaware, it's a definite stop. It just makes me feel like I'm at home, even though that's a little weird.
I love it. I'm a Cracker Barrel girl. What about you, Giro, Robert?
I'm in on Cracker Barrel. That's a grind drive. I used to do that drive from New York all the way down to Orlando, Tampa area. You're going through Virginia. That's a tough ride.
Virginia.
Yeah, that's a tough ride. You're headed down through like all those. Ugh.
I'm in Virginia.
It's a different ride, that's for sure. Honestly, I like it. I know a lot of people would say, why would you do that? That's awful. But it's so peaceful. You listen to music. You catch up with friends. You take in the weird scenery off of 95. Yeah. You stop at a random stop and you're like, wow, this is different here. But it doesn't bother me.
Burger King?
What do you got?
McDonald's, Burger King, Robert? Where you at? Starbucks?
I haven't been ever.
Like Dairy Queen?
Oh, yes, the blizzard, tip it upside down, it won't fall. Okay, we have 2 minutes left for a little word with Meredith Marakovits. Your career's been back and forth between Philly and New York. Eagles or Giants?
Eagles.
It's better, Philly cheesesteak or New York pizza?
Pizza, because I don't eat red meat. Sorry, Philly, no cheesesteaks for me.
We're going to say Tony Luke's. Pick one active Yankees player who we should recruit for a future fourth chair on Central.
Ooh.
Gardner.
I think Gardner would be great, but he's pretty quiet. Tommy Canley is a character, so I don't know. Can you handle two characters? Dero, I know you have your moments. I don't know if you can handle two of you at the same time. I'm trying to think of a pitcher. Zach Britton would be wonderful. He's insightful. He knows the game. And a former Yankee, Austin Romine, I think he's destined to manage one day if he wants to, but he's also wonderful with the media, and I think he'd be an asset in the media.
I love all those answers. Starting a Yankee volleyball team, who's your first recruit?
Ooh, it's a no-brainer.
Probably Judge, right? He's tall, athletic, or Aroldis Chapman, most athletic on the team. Dude can jump too.
Ooh, favorite city to travel to during the season?
Probably Los Angeles. I have some friends out there, so selfishly, it's not just about the baseball. I get to catch up with some of my people.
One word to describe John Sterling. Go.
Classic.
Love it. Meredith Marakovits, find her on Yes Digital channels daily. We love when you visit with us, and we will see you real soon on Yes Network. Thanks for joining us.
I can't wait to join you again, and I can't wait for baseball.
Can't wait. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone. Stay safe and take care. See you Monday.